Hello, good evening. You're watching ITV News Central. A month's worth of rain is set to fall over the next couple of days, sparking warnings of even more flooding as the extreme weather continues. Our reporter Victoria Davis has spent today in one of the worst hit areas, Worcester.
With flooding, torrential rain and strong winds, Worcester experienced a day of extremes never seen before. In this building, 12 people were rescued after conditions deteriorated.
People have been fine until recently. They've had electricity. Now the water has risen, starting to affect the electrics. Things have been isolated, and 12 people in a nearby block of flats asked to be rescued because things are getting too bad for them with no electric.
The water levels are so high, the main bridge through the city was not only closed to traffic, but people too. The only way of getting across was by shuttle bus.
Born and bred in Worcester, and this is the highest that I've ever seen them. In my lifetime, I'm 66, and they've only ever closed this new road once before.
I mean, I think the impact on the city is going to be fairly catastrophic, really. I don't know, there's very few people about, and I think getting from west to east side is looking increasingly difficult, really.
Then, as we were interviewing the Environment Agency, nature showed us its true force.
So how bad is the wind and the rain?
Jeez, that's good!
Oh my God!
Once it's peaked in Worcester, the water will travel to Upton upon Severn, where one man is doing all he can to keep the water away from his home.
Quite a battle at the moment. The problem is we've got, well, it's not like the floods, it's more like North Sea right by the side of at the moment. So I'm doing some reinforcing of my existing flood defence system to try and minimise the effect on the house. And with these winds coming over as well, it's caused me a few problems.
The next 24 hours are critical. The water levels were already at the heights they were in 2007, and with the combination of the wind, it's putting the city's defences to the test. Victoria Davis, ITV News, Worcester.
Well, meanwhile, just up the road in Bewdley, flood defences are being pushed to the limit by the rising waters. The River Severn through the town reached over 18 feet earlier. That's 6.5 feet higher than normal. And with more rain on the way, it may well get even higher. People are already struggling to keep homes and businesses dry. Well, across the Midlands, there are currently 43 flood warnings and 48 flood alerts, mostly along the rivers Severn, Wye and Team. The weather is causing a lot of trouble on the roads and railways tonight. Make sure you check our website, itv.com/central, first thing in the morning for the latest travel updates. Now, she's the serial killer who carried out a string of random and brutal murders across the country. Joanna Dennehy, seen here being taken into police custody, had already murdered 3 men in Peterborough before travelling to Hereford, where she tried to kill 2 more. Her 2 accomplices were today found guilty of helping her. Keith Wilkinson reports.
Walking hand in hand, serial killer Joanna Dennehy and her sidekick 7'3" tall Gary Richards, nicknamed Stretch, filmed on CCTV at Strensham motorway services near Worcester. She'd already stabbed to death 3 men in Cambridgeshire. Now she was about to head to Hereford, where Richards used to live, to try to kill 2 more. And here she is in Hereford, putting her arms round another man in a local shop, just moments before she selects her next victims. John Rogers and Robin Bereza, 2 completely innocent men. Dennehy didn't even know the men she wanted to murder in what was described in court as like a scene from the film Psycho. Mr. Bereza was walking his dog close to the crematorium and cemetery. He felt a blow to his right shoulder, turned round and saw the woman, in his words, staring right through him. Terrified, he asked her, "What are you doing?" "I'm hurting you. I'm going to kill you," she said. Mr. Bereza was left for dead, but amazingly survived. Next, Dennehy went to another part of Hereford, Golden Post, and stabbed John Rogers as he was walking his dog. Again, she showed no emotion as she plunged her knife into his chest. Mr. Rogers later said he thought she was going to kill him. After her first stab wounds, she even told him, "I'd better do some more."
I think in this particular case what we have is a classic psychopath, someone with a personality disorder who has a particular disregard for other human beings, wants to be in full control and manipulating them at all times, and the ultimate control you can have over someone is killing, and there's a real thrill element, it seems to me, to this particular type of murder.
Joanna Dennehy has admitted murdering Kevin Lee, Łukasz Slobaszewski and John Chapman, whose bodies were dumped in ditches. She's also admitted the 2 attempted murders in Hereford. Keith Wilkinson, ITV News.
In other news, comedian Freddie Starr has been arrested for a 4th time over allegations of sex offences. The 71-year-old, who lives in Warwickshire, answered police bail today and was told he faces further claims under Operation U-Tree. The inquiry started after abuse claims against Jimmy Savile. He's mounting a High Court challenge over the way prosecutors and the police have handled the allegations against him. Now, many football games were postponed due to the weather tonight, but Stoke City battled on against Swansea. Stoke went ahead through Peter Crouch on 17 minutes, but Chico Flores scored an equaliser for Swansea in the second half. 1-1 is how it finished. Time now for a look at the weather forecast. Here's Emma Jessen.
A short break. Whatever the weather. ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
Hello there. Well, the heaviest rain has now cleared the region, but we are stuck with the wind. And of course, that heavy rain today did exacerbate any flooding problems. We've still got these strong gusts of wind and severe gales, particularly to the northwest coast, but gales for the Midlands until midnight. And then after midnight, the warning downgrades to a yellow one, but still gusts of 40, 50 miles an hour in places. If you're heading north or south, the winds get stronger. So just be careful how you go for the rest of the night. We're also expecting icy stretches and a widespread ground frost. And then into tomorrow, well, lots of sunny spells around, maybe some isolated showers in the south later in the day, and Friday looks like being another day like today. Bye-bye.
ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
Well, that is it from us. Don't forget the website to keep up to date, itv.com/central. We are back bright and early tomorrow morning, but until then, from the Late Team, have a good night. Goodbye for now.